सवेदेनं शिरसि शिखिपुच्छं कटितटे सदा श्रीमद्लीलावनवासदि लीला परिचय जगराज स्वामी नारायण पदगामी भवतु मे रथारूढो गच्छन् पथिमेलिता भूदेव पदले श्रुति प्रादुर्भावं प्रतिपदमुपागम्य सदया सुरेन्द्र राजा सुधिगण शिखागे तरिव जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पदगामी भवतु मे परा ब्रह्मा पीरा कुवलय दलोत्फुल्लनयनो निवासी लीलाद्रौ निहित चरणो नन्त शिरसि रसो रमैया की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we welcome you all to this special place, Alarnath. The story of this place, of how the deity of Alarnath, whom we all took darshan of, it spans from the time of Satyuga, and then also when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, there is special significance here. We are sitting here in the Gaudiya Math. This was established by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So there is something about this place also. So Alarnath is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. He is not Narayan, he is actually Lord Krishna. You must have seen, how many of you saw the four hands of Alarnath, or how many of you were able to see? Okay, some of us who came in the beginning, they showed us. So you see, Alarnath Dev, it so happened that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, so because after Snan Yatra, during the Anavasara ceremony, when Lord Jagannath develops a fever, it is true, he develops a fever. Once in our Mayapur, next to Mayapur, we have our temple, Rajapur of Lord Jagannath, the deities are there. One devotee, he was thinking, does the Lord really develop fever? Because you see, during this Snan Yatra time, that's the birthday of Lord Jagannath, Snan Yatra. So then the Lord comes out and then there is nice Abhishek, lot of Abhishek. So much water Abhishek happens that you see, that's what happens to us also. If you get wet too much, then you develop cold, cough, fever, right? So that's exactly what happens to Lord Jagannath also. So he develops fever. And then he is wrapped in cloth, and then there is a special kada and these medicines that are given to him for 2 weeks. And then he comes out during the day of Rath Yatra. That's the ceremony, that's the procedure. So for 2 weeks, when the Lord is recuperating, there is no darshan for anyone. Now for us, we come to the Lord and when we go and take darshan, we have a big list of our agendas that we want to get fulfilled. But when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to come and take darshan, he wanted to genuinely experience that bhav that Srimati Radharani is experiencing, because he knew darshan is not a one-way process, it's a two-way process. We take darshan of the Lord and the Lord also takes darshan of us. So when Mahaprabhu used to come, he used to develop so much of ecstasy and show very special ecstatic symptoms when he used to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. Now for 2 weeks, every year, Mahaprabhu, he was not going to get darshan of Jagannath. That was heartbreaking for him. Heartbreaking. Just imagine for us 2 weeks without a phone, how it would be. So much more than that, because our whole, yesterday Adul Krishna was mentioning, how our goal of attachment now, our attachment is so much on the phone, isn't it? So like that, for Mahaprabhu, is so much of attachment on Lord Jagannath. And for him, to sustain for 2 weeks not having darshan was too much to bear. So then he decided that better I drown myself. So he ran to the Puri beach, going to drown himself in the waters. And then the Supreme Lord, there is Akashwani. And the Lord tells him that I have manifested here at Brahmagiri, at Alarnath, and you can take my darshan here. So Mahaprabhu, during this time of Anavasara, he came from Puri. he came here and took darshan of Alarnath Dev. Now the story of Alarnath is very interesting. You see, when we all know the story of Indradyumna Maharaj, the one who was instrumental in bringing about these deities of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra here. It was Narad Muni's desire, but it was instrumented by Indradyumna Maharaj. And then he got these 3 logs of wood that were floating. Vishwakarma, the carpenter, comes and carves. And the sound is coming tug, tug, tug from the closed doors that the work is going on. He stops hearing the sound. He opens doors out of curiosity. Indradyumna Maharaj, he opens the doors. He sees the unfinished forms of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. And that was the form that we worship. Now, you see, when this was going on, after this pastime, Indradyumna felt that his life is unsuccessful because he wanted that the Lord's form be like 400 Vishnu form of Nila Madhava. He was expecting that, and he's seeing these unfinished forms. He felt, I should commit suicide. And then the Lord speaks to him that, do not worry, this is my special form, wherein I express very special magnanimity and mercy. So that is the form of Lord Jagannath. Now, the same Lord Jagannath, he comes here, he's present here as Alarnath. Now, in this story, it so happens that King Indradyumna, he's feeling so morose, and then the Lord, he pacifies him by saying that he's here, he's present, and this is the form that he wants him to worship. He says that you bring Brahma to install the deity. To install me, you bring Brahmaji. So when Brahma comes, he comes here. And this place was a hill which was known as a mount, which was a giri. And because Brahma, he comes here on this plain, therefore, and he did tapasya here, this place is known as Brahmagiri. Now Brahma, when he comes, he meditates here. Now in this time of Satyuga, when Brahmaji is meditating, so then the Lord also tells him, you install a deity here. And this deity is Alarnath Dev, the deity that Lord Brahmaji himself has installed. Following that, Brahma goes to Puri, he goes to Niladri, and that is the place where he installs Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. So in this way, this was the pastime, this is how the Lord manifested here in Brahmagiri, Alarnath. This place was also known as Alvarnath before, because earlier the worship was being done by those in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, the great devotees are known as the Alvars. So then, because he is the Lord of the Alvars, therefore his name was Alvarnath. And also, it became Alalanath. So there are so many names to this place. Alvarnath, Alalanath, Alarnath. Now there is a special pastime here. A couple of 100 years ago, a little before the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was a devotee, a pujari named Sriniketan. So Sriniketan, he had a son named Madhu. Sriniketan was doing his duties as a pujari here. Once he had to go outside. And he told his 5-year-old son Madhu that you take charge of making the daily offerings to the Lord. So then Madhu said, I don't know. So his father said, don't worry, just chant mantras and offer to the Lord, he'll eat. So then Sriniketan leaves, and Madhu, with the plate that his mother gave him of the bhoga, he goes inside and he is offering to Alarnath Dev. And he says, my dear Lord, I don't know all the mantras, I am not very qualified, but please eat this. And then he goes out to play. He comes back after a while. And 5-year-old boy, he sees that the plate is as it is. Now, he's not attended our classes. He doesn't know Angani Yasa Sakalendri Evriti Manti, Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti. He doesn't know that the Lord, he's absolute. That means his seeing is as good as eating. He doesn't know. He thinks the Lord is going to eat. And so he feels that he's specially disqualified because the Lord is not eating. So then he prays to the Lord more sincerely, saying, my dear Lord, see, if you don't eat, then my father is going to chastise me. Please eat, please eat. So very humbly, with sincerity, he's praying, goes out to play. Now he comes back again, he sees that the Lord is still present there. The food is, bhoga is still present there. Lord is not eaten. So then, now again he's in anxiety. Now again, with a very devotional and sincere heart, he prays and he keeps praying. And the Lord, he comes out of the form as the deity and he starts eating. Finishes the plate. Madhu takes this bag and gives it to his mother. Mother says, where is the bhoga? Where is the prasadam? He said, Alarnath ate it. So mother was surprised, saying, how is it possible that Alarnath ate? But that's what Madhu said. So that day they didn't eat anything. Next day, again the bhoga was prepared. And Madhu went to offer. And again, because of his sincere devotion, the Lord personally ate all the offering, emptied the plate. And then mother is asking, where is the prasadam? So Alarnath ate it. So then again, second day they fasted. Third day, same story. So for 3 days, they had no prasadam because Alarnath ate all the offerings. Finally, Sriniketan comes back and he is saying, I am very hungry. The wife is saying that Alarnath is eating all the offerings. That's what Madhu is saying. So Sriniketan said, how is it possible? Let me see. He tells Madhu, make the offering. He is hiding behind. And now Madhu is pleadingly crying to the Lord, please come and eat. Please come and eat. And the Lord, he takes his hand, he lifts the hot kheer. The Lord lifts it. And while he is going to eat, Sriniketan jumps out and he claps the hand of the deity, saying, you are just a deity made of stone, how can you eat? Sriniketan, he stopped the deity from eating. The Lord felt very offended. What happened is that when he was stopped, when the Lord was stopped like this, some of that kheer, it fell out from that pot and it landed on the hand of the Lord. And his hot kheer, the hand got burnt. And you can see that it's still there today. They showed us when we went into the altar. We asked the pujari, please show us the burnt hand. He showed us because you can see the surface is not smooth; it's burnt. You can see. So the Lord, in this way, he manifests special pastime. But the Lord was very angry and offended at Sriniketan. He says, you are a pujari, but actually you are an atheist. You don't have any faith. So I curse you. Your whole family will be finished except Madhu. Local people say that after that, the ocean is thereby, there was a big wave, big tsunami kind of a disaster, and everyone finished except Madhu, whole family. Now what happens is that again the worship here was neglected for a while, and it was restarted by King Purushottam Dev, who was the father of Maharaj Prataparudra. King Purushottam Dev, when he was going to fight the battle against the king of Kanchi, he passed through this area. And the Lord came in the dream of King Purushottam Dev. And he told him that I am being neglected, my worship is being neglected. You please establish my worship. So King Purushottam Dev organized that along with Jagannath's worship, the worship of Alarnath Dev also should go on. And ever since, the worship here is handled by the team at Jagannath Puri, the Pandas who are the Brahmins who are there, they handle. So the worship style here is exactly the same as what is there in Jagannath Puri. So in this way, there were some, so then ever since, this was just about before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time when Maharaj Purushottam Dev re-established the worship, and then it's been going on. So coming back to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came here, he was in so much of ecstasy and so much of Mahabhav that he exhibited such symptoms, and the most extraordinary thing happened here, which was that he melted stone. We never hear in Mayapur Dham, in Navadvip or in Vrindavan that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and he melted stone. That means the heat from his body out of the viraha or the separation was so much that it caused the stone to melt. We never hear in Mayapur, in Navadvip there is no place that he melted stone, neither in Vrindavan we see. But there are 4 stones that he melted. One we see in the Jagannath temple, you see just behind the Garud Stamba next to the wall, Mahaprabhu used to take darshan behind Garudji. There is deep significance. That's how we should also take darshan. Why we take darshan like that? Because the Lord has eyes for his devotee Garudji. Well, we come and stand in front of the Lord. He doesn't even know us. But the Lord knows his devotee Garuddev, and if we are standing behind him or standing nearby, there is high possibility the Lord may see us also. And therefore, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is standing behind Garuddev, and he is leaning against the wall. And that caused the ecstasy that he was feeling while taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, that caused the stone to melt. So you can see that from his fingertips the stone has melted, and you can see that you can take darshan next time when you go. Even the Charan Shila is there. That means the place where Mahaprabhu was standing, that also footprint, that also melted, that stone. That is also there as soon as we go down from the temple of Lord Jagannath. So that was 2 stones there in the Jagannath temple. And the third one, there is one stone in Vrindavan that is in the temple of Sri Sri Radha Gokulanand, which is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's deities. There is a stone, there is a Shila of the Lord, his fingerprint is there. That's at Vrindavan. And the 4th place is here, where he didn't melt some stone just on his fingers or something, his whole body. And we all saw, this is known as Prem Shila, right? Everybody saw? Yeah. So Prem Shila. So Mahaprabhu was feeling so much of ecstasy that the stone itself melted. So this is the place, because why he was feeling so much ecstasy? In Puri Kshetra is Vipralamba Kshetra. So Vipralamba means Mahaprabhu is feeling ecstasy, he's feeling separation from the Supreme Lord, he's feeling separation. He's experiencing that emotion. And here he's feeling double separation, because now he's not even able to see Jagannath. So therefore this place is Dui Ganita Vipralamba Kshetra. That means double Mahaprabhu is feeling, double ecstasy and double separation, double viraha. And therefore this kind of intensity here. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say that this Alarnath is actually not Vishnu. These are four hands. So for others it may be Alarnath, Vishnu, Narayan. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this Alarnath is none other than Lord Krishna. He's the same Brajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar. How? Well, in the Ras Leela, if you know, in the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Ras Leela chapters, Rasa Panchadhyay, we all know, we've heard of this story before, of how in the midnight all the gopis come to have Ras Leela with Krishna. And then Krishna disappears. So when Krishna disappears, then all the gopis, they feel so much of separation, they feel so much of pain, that they go in delirium. That means half mad, kind of. And these gopis, they start enacting Krishna's pastimes. Somebody becomes Putana, and some other gopi becomes baby Krishna. Somebody is becoming Kaliya, somebody is becoming Krishna, and he's jumping on, and this gopi, she's becoming Krishna, she's jumping on the hoods, on the heads of the other gopis. So in this way they are enacting all of Krishna's pastimes. Suddenly they see below a tree, they see a blackish figure. So they all run there. And they see that this is Lord Vishnu. It's actually Krishna. But Krishna wanted to trick them, he wanted to test them. So then they run there and they see this is Krishna. So they offer their obeisances and they return back. Because the gopis, for them, Narayan is just God. But then after that, Srimati Radharani comes there. And on looking at Srimati Radharani, being in her association, Krishna is not able to keep this four-handed formal form of Lord Narayan, and two hands disappear. So that Gopinath is actually Alarnath. So that is that form of Gopinath. And here even the mantras that they chant are all, the Gayatri mantras and the ones that they chant here, they are all for Krishna. Because that's not how Narayan Puja is done, which is another confirmation that this is none other than Krishna himself, Brajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar. So this is the special significance of the place. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he established his Gaudiya Math here, he established the deities here, Gopi Gopinath. The deities here are Gopi Gopinath. Why? Because he wanted to establish this fact that this is Gopinath here. It's not Alarnath, it's Gopinath. He's not Vishnu here, he's Krishna. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati established. You see in the altar you'll also see a small black deity on the left side, and that is the small Alarnath deity. That was excavated on the same spot as the temple. But the deity came in the dream of the pujari who said, I want to be worshipped by a sadhu named Bhaktisiddhanta. So they came and gave the deity here. Bhaktisiddhanta used to spend time here. And this whole forest area, once he was going on a walk with his disciples. Suddenly, he started running, as if in ecstasy. He started running. And he started running, and suddenly disappeared. This is the account of the disciples. They say Bhaktisiddhanta is running, and all of them are running behind him. And suddenly they can't see him. They are searching everywhere in the forest. Whole day they searched. At the end of the day, under a mango tree, they found Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati lying down with foam coming out from his mouth, and he was in complete ecstasy. And they asked him, Maharaj, what happened? And Bhaktisiddhanta said that I saw Krishna. Krishna called me, and so I ran. So this kind of experience Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had in this place. He said this place is not different from Govardhan, Brahmagiri. So this is the special significance of this place. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his bhajan kutir is also here. While going, you can just take darshan. Here, the devotees here, pujaris are very kind. They allow us also to take darshan very closely of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's personal items also. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say We were just singing this, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. Jagannath, it means that, my dear Lord Jagannath, please give me the eyes by which I can see you. You see, because we just see the form of the Lord, but we don't see, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is seeing, he is taking darshan of Sakshat Brajendranandan Sham Sundar when he sees Jagannath. So therefore we are praying that we can develop the vision by which we can see the Lord. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say that don't try to see God, but act in such a way that God sees you. One thing is that we want to take darshan, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gives the secret by which we can attract the Lord. That is by becoming the servant of the devotees. By doing some kind of special sacrifice for the Lord, by which he becomes pleased with us, and then he comes to give, he reveals us, he reveals himself to us. And there are so many devotees who have been revealed in this way. There was this great devotee, Purushottam Dev, Maharaj Purushottam Dev, the father of Maharaj Prataparudra, wherein the story of Kanchi Abhijan happens. Maharaj Purushottam Dev, he was the king of Puri, he was the king of Odisha, king of Puri. And he happened to once go towards Kanchi. And there in the gardens, he happened to meet the princess of Kanchi, Princess Padmavati. Both of them liked each other, and they were feeling that we are very good for marriage. Somehow, even the king of Kanchi was very pleased with this proposal. And he officially, after a few days, he sent a minister to Purushottam Dev, officially asking him to get married to his daughter Padmavati. Purushottam Dev happily agreed. And he asked the minister to stay for some more days because the Rath Yatra festival was going to come. Rath Yatra is such a famous festival, so the minister thought, let me see. So the minister waited for a few days. And the day of the festival, such huge fanfare, so many mridangas, kartalas, conches, trumpets, so many devotees coming to pull the Rath of Lord Jagannath. There this minister saw that this King Purushottam Dev, he takes a broom and he's sweeping the road in front of Jagannath's cart. Now this minister, he was not a very devotional person. So he could not understand the devotional significance of what King Purushottam Dev was doing. So this minister thought, oh, what a chandal he is. What a street sweeper. How can our princess get married to this street sweeper? He went back to the kingdom of Maharaj Kanchi, and he told Kanchi, the king of Kanchi, that this is what Purushottam Dev is doing. He is doing the duties of a street sweeper. How can our princess get married to him? So the king of Kanchi also was not such a devotee. He could not also understand the significance. So then they decided to cancel the marriage, and then they announced a Swayamvar for Princess Padmavati. They invited all the neighboring kings and princes, but they didn't invite Purushottam Dev. And Purushottam Dev felt very insulted. First, he felt insulted because they could not understand what he was doing, and second, now that they are on top, they are having a Swayamvar and not inviting him. So Purushottam Dev thought that now I'll wage a war against Kanchi. And the message was sent to the king of Kanchi. Kanchi Raj said, condition, if I win, then your deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra will be behind my deity of Kanchi Ganesh in my altar. Purushottam Dev said, if I win, then your deity of Kanchi Ganesh will be behind our deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. That was the condition. Now the war was going to be fought, so Maharaj Purushottam Dev, he goes towards Kanchi. And there his tent caught fire and he had to retreat back. And he was feeling very sad, and he was praying to Lord Jagannath that I am retreating back. It's like we are on the verge of losing the war before it started. If we lose, you have to go and sit behind Ganesha. How is this possible? First of all, this whole situation is because I am sweeping in front of your cart. And then now, over and above, it's such a great insult to you if you have to go behind Lord Ganesha in this way. So please do something. And then that night, Lord Jagannath comes in his dream and he said, don't worry, you fight, I'll help you. So next day morning, because of this dream, Purushottam Dev, he had so much of increased vigor and happiness that he charged towards Kanchi. He did not know that there were two new soldiers who came in his army. These soldiers went ahead, one sitting on a black horse, one sitting on a white horse. They went ahead, and there they felt thirsty. So there they were searching for some water, there was this old Mataji who was having a business of selling buttermilk. So these two soldiers who looked like brothers, one sitting on the black horse, one sitting on the white horse, they got down, they drank some buttermilk. This old lady asks for payment. So these two brothers said, we are soldiers in the army of Maharaj Purushottam Dev. He is coming behind, you ask money from him. And she said, no, how will he accept that I am saying the truth? So one of them took out his ring and gave it to this old lady. And both of them went ahead. Maharaj Purushottam Dev reaches there and this lady is waiting in that village. Already Maharaj Purushottam Dev has come along with his whole army. The lady is waiting and she says, Maharaj, the two of your soldiers, they drank my buttermilk, they didn't pay. Give me payment, please. And she showed the ring. And Maharaj Purushottam Dev, when he saw the ring, it was such a big surprise because it was whose ring? Jagannath's ring. He saw Jagannath's ring. And he got so much of faith. He said, you old lady, you have no idea. You had darshan of Sakshat, Krishna and Balaram. And you are asking for payment? So then he says, I'll give you the best payment. I'll make you in charge of all these villages and you can just peacefully stay and collect tax from here. So then he awarded her nicely, named the village after her also. Purushottam Dev, along with his army, he charged towards Kanchi. And even on the Kanchi's army side, they saw that these two soldiers are fighting so valiantly and bravely. They killed so many of Kanchi Raj's soldiers. And invariably, who won? Purushottam Dev won. Purushottam Dev, after winning, he didn't take Kanchi Raj as bandi banate hai. He didn't take him as a hostage. He took Princess Padmavati as a hostage. And he said that now I'll surely get her married to a Chandal. And he told this to the minister. This minister was an intelligent man. He said, yes, this will take time, but don't worry, Maharaj, we'll figure it out. Time passed by. And Princess Padmavati was very, very heartbroken because she already liked Purushottam Dev and she thought that now if he gets me married to some Chandal, so what's going to happen? I cannot even become a maid servant of the king. So Princess Padmavati was heartbroken, but the minister gave her shelter. And the minister said, don't worry, when the right time will come, things will happen. Have faith in Jagannath. Just pray to Lord Jagannath. So Princess Padmavati, her devotion increased day by day, fully dependent on Jagannath. Now time came for Rath Yatra festival. Rath Yatra festival came, Maharaj Purushottam Dev was again very active. He took his golden broom and started sweeping the floor in front of Jagannath's cart. That time the minister came, he told Padmavati, get dressed very nicely. Get dressed in such a way as if it's your marriage day today. Princess Padmavati thought, really he's going to get married, he's going to get me married to some Chandal? Don't worry, just dress up nicely. So the minister kept Princess Padmavati on one side. He goes to Maharaj Purushottam Dev, he's busy sweeping the floor, he's sweeping the road where in front of Lord Jagannath's cart. Minister goes to Purushottam Dev and tells him that, Maharaj, I have to tell you something, that this Princess Padmavati whom you captured from Kanchi, I have found a suitable sweeper for her. I found a suitable sweeper. So the king said, I'm busy now, you settle the matter. So the minister says, Maharaj, you don't understand, that sweeper is you. So the king, he smiled at the intelligence of the minister and immediately brought Princess Padmavati and got her to put the garland around King Purushottam Dev. Because the condition that Purushottam Dev had said was that he is going to get Padmavati married to a street sweeper. And that was exactly what he was doing that day. So in this way, Maharaj Purushottam Dev gets married to Princess Padmavati, and the deities of Kanchi Ganesh, deity was shifted to behind Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Until today you can see behind there are so many temples, there is one deity of Ganesh ji, that is Kanchi Ganesh. Along with them, the deity of Radha-Radhakant were also shifted. Radha-Radhakant. And Radha-Radhakant from Kanchi they came, and as soon as they came, so the bhoga that was offered to Jagannath, which is quite a bit, Chappan Bhog, continuous offerings go on. Before the offering ends, the next one is ready. Jagannath eats so much. So what was happening was that Lord Jagannath was feeling that he is not getting any food to eat. He came in the dream of the pujari and said, these deities of Radha-Radhakant, they've put them here, but they're eating all my bhoga offerings, shift them out. And so these deities of Radha-Radhakant were shifted to Kashi Mishra's house, which became Gambhira, which is the place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resided when he was in Puri. So we'll also be going to Gambhira. So there you will have darshan of Radha Radhakant. These are the deities of Kashi Mishra, which he worshipped, and even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped. So in this way, Lord Jagannath, we are doing Jagannath Smaran Leela. That is what even Mahaprabhu did when he came here in this place. He is feeling separation from Lord Jagannath. You see, when we surrender, this is the principle, as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, that we surrender to Krishna and you see how he takes care. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pari upasite tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogaksheham vahamyaham. He says, for those who are surrendered to me, I give them what they lack and I preserve what they have. Arjun Mishra was a devotee. He also known as Gita Panda. Gita Panda was fully dedicated, every day reciting Bhagavad Gita. He used to live by begging. Whatever used to come, he used to accept in Jagannath Puri every day. He and his family used to live, fully absorbed in scripture. There was a drought one time, no food available. Nobody is giving any bhiksha. So his wife was concerned, what are the children going to eat? So no food came for one day. Gita Panda said, don't worry, Krishna is saying, Ananyas chintayanto mam. Those who are engaged in my devotional service, I provide for them. Just wait. But the wife was getting impatient. 1 day passed by, 2 days passed by, nothing to eat. She became so angry, she took a pen, and in those days they used to have leaf scroll, they used to have leaves, feathers, they used to write with feathers. She went and scratched this verse, 3 scratches. Ananyas chintayanto mam, that shloka, she scratched it out, saying this is false. He doesn't provide. Where is he providing? We are suffering here, he is not providing. That evening, 2 boys, one black and one white, they came to house of Gita Panda. They knocked the door, and when the wife opened the door, Gita Panda, he had gone for bath, he was not there in the house. Wife opened the door, and these 2 boys said that we've got so much of bhoga. Who sent it? The wife asked. Boys said that a friend of Gita Panda sent all this bhoga. And he said that please offer it to Lord Jagannath and please honor all of you. Wife was very happy. She said that you also, both of you boys, please come inside and prepare the bhoga, offer the food, and then you can also honor prasad. No, we cannot honor. Why you cannot honor? Because our tongue is cut in 3 spots. It is cut, and then he showed his tongue, and his tongue was cut in 3 spots, 3 places. So she didn't understand. She said, okay, they left. And then Gita Panda comes out, he says, who gave all this, so much of bhoga? So she said that these 2 boys came and they brought all of this Mahaprasad, they brought all these bhogas, said offer. And so then Gita Panda said, did you tell them to also wait for the offering so that we can feed them also? So then she mentioned what the boys had said. Then Gita Panda understood. Who were these 2 boys? Krishna Balram. And Krishna showed, and then Gita Panda showed his wife that just see, you scratched. And that is exactly where what Krishna showed. Both of them, in order to beg forgiveness from the Lord, they went to the temple of Lord Jagannath and they begged for forgiveness. And guess what? At the temple of Lord Jagannath, they saw 3 spots on Lord Jagannath's mouth. So this is how the Lord provides for his devotees. There are so many devotees who are saved by the Lord, and if we want to experience this personal association, personal reciprocation of the Lord, the more we surrender, we can see this. There was how the Lord protects. There was one devotee, Talicha Mahapatra. He was a pujari in Lord Jagannath's temple. And it so happened he came to know that the king of Puri is coming. And he knew that the king of Puri wants some nicely he wants to be facilitated and nicely worshipped. Nicely given some Mahaprasad, Mahagarland. He saw Jagannath not wearing any garland, it's already evening time. Talicha Mahapatra saw he is wearing a garland. So don't do this, but what Talicha Mahapatra did, he took out the garland and he put it on Jagannath. Right? Not for us to do. But he did this. He put his own garland in front of Jagannath, made him wear it. The king came. Talicha Mahapatra, he nicely facilitated the king and gave the garland, removed the garland from Jagannath and put it on the king. The king is wearing nice garland. He's smelling, he's appreciating. But suddenly the king sees that there is one strand of hair. And he thought that strand of hair in Jagannath's garland. Jagannath doesn't have hair. This must be the pujari's hair. And that means that the pujari must have put his own garland to the Lord, and then that's what he made me wear. He asked the pujari, is this your garland that you are giving me? The pujari said, no dear Lord, no Maharaj, this is Lord Jagannath's garland. So then the king is asking, whose hair is this then? So then Talicha Mahapatra said, don't you know Lord Jagannath is growing hair for a while? The king was surprised. Lord Jagannath growing hair. He said that, okay, I will come and see tomorrow. I'll see the hair, and if I don't see the hair, then you know how strict I am. So now Talicha Mahapatra was in a lot of anxiety. He thought that this king is very strict. If he finds out what I did, he's going to kill me. He's first of all going to take me out of the kingdom, throw me out, and he may even kill me if he comes to know what aparadha I have done. Better than that, I'll kill myself. He put poison on next to his bed. He said, if by tomorrow morning nothing happens, I'll take the poison. That night Jagannath came in his dream and told the pujari that why you have to worry? What one king, millions of kings can't do anything to my devotees. You just go there tomorrow and see for yourself. I have been growing hair. So then next day morning, Talicha Mahapatra goes inside the deity. Early morning he goes into the deity room. He sees that Lord Jagannath is already having waist length hair. Black hair, curly, he's having. So Talicha Mahapatra sees this and he's feeling relief. The king comes there, along with his whole entourage. He comes just to check and test. He asked Talicha Mahapatra, so you were going to show? Talicha Mahapatra replies, what is there to show? You see for yourself? So then the king goes there. And what does the king see? He sees that so much hair, waist length hair of Jagannath. King is surprised. He says, have you stuck them? Have you stuck these hair? Or are they real or fake? So the pujari replied, you check yourself. So what king did, he pulled few strands of hair. When he pulled some strands of hair, everybody saw that drops of blood fell from Jagannath's head. When the king saw this, he fainted. He realized what kind of offense he has committed. He fell at the feet of Talicha Mahapatra and he begged for forgiveness continuously. Talicha Mahapatra said, see, the Lord is very merciful. Certainly you offended him, but now you pray to him and do your duties very nicely. Feed all the Brahmanas, serve the Vaishnavas, and in this way you can be freed from the offense. So then the king, he's crying. Talicha Mahapatra, he pacified him. And then when they went back again to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, what did they see? They saw again no hair on the head of Jagannath. So they saw that how the Lord, he creates and he, in order to protect his devotees, what the Lord cannot do. So in this way there are so many nice special pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Just like we heard about this Gita Panda, we heard about Talicha Mahapatra. Like that there was a devotee called Parmeshthi. He was a tailor. And he used to he was in Delhi, he used to stitch for the Muslim king. Muslim king sent a very nice, beautiful golden cloth embroidered with jewels and diamonds, asking Parmeshthi to make a pillow for him. Parmeshthi said, when he looked at the cloth, he said, such a nice pillow, such nice material, cloth material. It's not meant for a human being, this is meant for the Lord. And this Parmeshthi was a great devotee. He was in his mind, he was thinking about Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra, and that happened to be that time of Rath Yatra. Parmeshthi is in his meditation, he's thinking how Jagannath ji, he's from the altar, he's shifted, he's taken by the devotees, the pandas, they take him and then they take him out to the main road where the cart is there. That's how they shift the Lord to the cart. So they take him personally. So while this was happening, Talicha Mahapatra is visualizing all of this. He's seeing this in his mind's eye. And when they take the Lord down, so that time there are pillows that they use, the pillow. And Talicha Mahapatra, Parmeshthi saw that this pillow, it burst. One pillow, it burst. So in his meditation, now he's made two pillows, nice golden embroidered two pillows, which are studded with some jewels. He took one pillow in his meditation, he offered to Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath, he came on that pillow. And then he was taken to the cart. And Parmeshthi felt so happy that the Lord has accepted my service. So in his ecstasy, he was feeling so happy, but at the same time, fear gripped him because he understood that these pillows actually belong to the Muslim king. And in a while, a representative came from the king asking for the pillows. Now he was confused, Parmeshwari, thinking what to do. Parmeshwari thought, what is the big thing? This Muslim king, who has made him the king? Jagannath has made him the king. So he will understand. He takes one pillow, what is there? He goes to the king and he narrates the whole incident to the king. That I was meditating on the Lord and there was just one pillow. I gave that pillow and it was not there. The king said, how is this possible? You are sitting in Delhi. This is Sri Kshetra Puri, so far from here. How is it possible? He said, you are just making all of this up. You must have surely stolen this. And therefore, I am going to give you the strictest punishment. So he put Parmeshwari under bars. And they were treating Parmeshwari very badly. The king had ordered that Parmeshwari should not be given even food to eat. So let him die out of hunger. Now Parmeshwari is praying to Lord Jagannath in the prison. He's praying, my dear Lord, I just did some service for you. But you see my situation. I'll die in a few days. Please do something. Please help me. In this way, he's praying. He's chanting the Lord's holy names. And after a while, what happens? The Supreme Lord Jagannath, he goes all the way to Delhi. He comes in the dream of the Muslim king. And he tells him that you are such a rascal. This is my devotee Parmeshwari. I am the one who has made you sit on this throne. What do you think of yourself? And in this way, he says that you better do one thing. You better reinstate Parmeshwari, get him out of the prison. You feed him, his family, maintain him nicely, give him all facilities. Otherwise, I'll finish your whole family. And then the Lord takes out whips and he is starting to beat the king. So the king is shouting in his sleep, he's crying. Then he wakes up. And when he wakes up, it's like a nightmare. He thought that he got up from a nightmare, but the whips were real. The markings and beatings were real. So he realizes this is true, that Lord has come to save his devotee. So he goes, he goes in the jail, takes out Parmeshwari, and he puts on a turban to Parmeshwari. He apologizes. He makes Parmeshwari the family guru. He puts Parmeshwari on the elephant and makes him go in procession outside. And he begs for forgiveness from Parmeshwari, and he's praying. He makes him the guru and he's taking guidance from Parmeshwari. In this way, you see, the Lord, Supreme Lord is so merciful. If we surrender to him in these different ways, he takes care. There was this devotee called Bandhu Mohanty. Bandhu Mohanty considered Jagannath to be his friend. So he came from Jajpur. Now, because that time there was a big drought in that village, they didn't have any food. So Bandhu Mohanty, he told his family, he had 2 children, and then his wife was there, they didn't have any food to eat. So then he said, my friend is there in Puri, he'll give us some food. So Bandhu Mohanty, he comes to Puri from Jajpur. He's already late in the evening, so much crowd, they didn't allow him to enter. So he goes towards the southern gate, and there they find that the rice, the starch which is left out from the rice, peja they call it. So he told his wife that let's take this peja, feed it to the children, and we'll sleep. My friend is very busy today. So many people have come to see him. So then tomorrow morning he'll be little free. That time we can go and ask him for food. He'll help us. So the wife agreed to this. So they drank some peja and they all slept. Still hunger in their bellies, but they slept like that. Now the Supreme Lord, he felt that how I am being offered chappan bhog, but my devotee has come all the way so far and there is no food for him. How is this possible? So what did he do? The Lord takes the form of an old Brahmana. He takes his own gold plate, selects the best cakes, pastries and all the different special items that they used to offer Jagannath, makes a big nice plate, goes out and he calls out, Bandhu Mohanty, some Mahaprasad for you. Bandhu Mohanty wakes up. He says that Pujari asking for me, not possible. So he doesn't go to him. The Lord says, Bandhu Mohanty from Jajpur, please come. So then Bandhu Mohanty arrives there. He takes the whole plate. And this Brahmana goes ahead. Bandhu Mohanty said, what do I do of the plate? He looks back, he sees that this old man is not there anywhere. He says, tomorrow morning I'll give. He takes the plate to his family. They all have nice Mahaprasad. And then they take rest. Next day, early morning, the pujaris come, they see that there is one golden plate missing. Searching everywhere. They call the guards. The guards feel that the pujaris must have stolen. They beat the guards left, right and center. They beat the pujaris left, right and center, the guards. They're asking, who has taken the plate? Who has taken the plate? One pujari replied that, I have seen one man who has come with his family yesterday. They're sleeping towards that gate. And there is it seems that under his cloth there is this golden plate that's shining. It seems that he must have stolen. So then all these guards, they go and they see Bandhu Mohanty with the plate. And as soon as they find, they understand he is the thief. So they take him, they arrest him, put him in prison, they are beating him. Bandhu Mohanty say, I didn't take, somebody came. Somebody came and gave us this plate. But the guards were not to listen. The pujaris didn't listen. So beating is going on. Now, Bandhu Mohanty is suffering. He was suffering the previous day also, and he is now suffering more. And he is praying to Lord Jagannath. He is chanting his holy names. And then Jagannath, he goes to the king, and in the king's dream he says, what is this happening in your rule? My devotee is coming so far, traveling from Janjpur to Puri, and what is happening to him, he is not even getting some prasadam. This is happening. So this devotee is there, Bandhu Mohanty, he is my friend, you take care of him. So the king wakes up, he goes straight to the prison, gets out Bandhu Mohanty, and then he provides nicely a nice house next to Puri, next to the temple for Bandhu Mohanty, and then he's maintained whole life. So in this way we see that such special pastimes of the Lord, wherein the Lord himself, he takes personal care of his devotees. So that is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati meant when he said that when we do some sacrifice for the Lord, when we surrender to him, when we go out of our comfort zone to surrender to him and render some special service, then the Lord personally takes care. And you can see in so many things in your life also, you must have already observed and seen that how the Lord, his hand is there. And this we can see much more and more in our lives as we surrender more and more. And that's the beauty of this process of devotional service. So here at the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the lotus feet of Sri Alarnath Dev, at the lotus feet of Sri Gopi Gopinath, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he used to say, here he was giving a class, and he said that we are supposed to preach this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everywhere, and I long for the day when we will take in an airplane chariot, we will take Jagannath to London and we will have Rath Yatra there. And who was the one who fulfilled this desire of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So this is the place where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he was encouraging preaching so much. So here at the lotus feet of these deities, we can pray that we can also become instruments like this in the hands of the Lord. And then we can also, the experience of the Lord's touch in our lives also we can have. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Alarnath Dev Bhagavan ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So now we can all go in a line, take darshan of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Bhajan Kutir, and then while doing kirtan, we'll return back to the bus. Hare Krishna.